Hello, I'm Rufus Hound. I'm not just funny, but I'm also incredibly handsome and slightly psychic. Yes, by looking into my crystal ball, I see a future in which Lord Howe and Jeremy Hunt are playing a leisurely round of golf, then at their 68th birthday blowing out the candles, heading to the clubhouse for a few cocktails and a cigar, paid for, no doubt, with the money they've made from the investments that the money's come in from the private health companies they both invested in that have now weirdly profited handsomely from some of the decisions they made. What I don't really see them doing is racing around doing 4 consecutive 12-hour shifts, carrying 42-kilogram bags of kit up and down stairs for next to no money, trying to save human lives. And yet that will be the reality for frontline ambulance workers. The life-saving and caring work that you guys do is as incredibly stressful as it is invaluable to your community. The stress that you're under is only going to get worse and worse, with call volumes actually doubling between 1996 and 2006. In essence, you guys are having to work harder for less money. Yes, the NHS budget has been ring-fenced, but in real terms that is a genuine cut. What does this achieve? Well, high rates of burnout and injury amongst overworked ambulance staff results in patient deaths, simply because there aren't enough of you to go round. Last week, a pensioner in Hartlepool died after having to wait 2 hours for an ambulance, and the magistrate up that way actually heard evidence that the reason was that the ambulance service was just completely overstretched. The coroner and the magistrate then found that indeed this was a sad consequence and a national problem. So the plight of ambulance workers is one of the reasons that I'm standing for the NHA, the National Health Action Party. Now, why a European election? Why not a general election? In essence, because there's this thing TTIP. It's an EU-US trade agreement that basically will lock in privatisation. The privatisation of the NHS is happening by stealth. 70% of contracts that have been dished out since this government came to power have gone to private companies. The EU-US trade agreement will make that irrevocable. We can't turn back the tide. And actually what's happening, and what we know is happening, is that the results of PFI, the amount of debt that the NHS is now having to try and pay off, is having a crippling effect on what the NHS is able to do. And in fact, in terms of the ambulance service, I'm looking at my piece of paper over here, spending on private firms to provide 99 ambulances has doubled in the last 3 years. Now, is a vote for the NHA a worthwhile vote? Yes. In a city of 6 million people, we only need to get 200,000 votes to get one candidate elected to the European Parliament. I genuinely believe if we have one candidate sitting there in Brussels, the message that sends to the economic vampires who are sucking the lifeblood out of this incredible British institution, an institution which you probably don't need reminding was recently voted in a poll as the thing British people are most proud of. Look, this august institution needs defending. The people within it realise what's happening to it. Hopefully people on the outside increasingly will also realise what is happening to it. How do we change it? We vote. It is the one tool available to us to send these sons of women and men a strong message that we're not going to stand for anymore. So please don't lose hope. And on a personal level, I want you to know that if I was capable of being anything other than a performing monkey, I can see literally nothing of any higher value or higher human calling than doing what you do. I assume that you are met with endless gratitude all the time, but on the odds that you aren't, on the odds that actually your lives are just a never-ending wash of stressful situations, having to fight off desperate people who are themselves acting irrationally, I'm sorry for that, but I am so intensely grateful to you and to your colleagues. So from me, thanks. From you, a vote wouldn't go amiss. So on the 22nd of May, please make sure that you are enrolled to vote and vote for the NHA. And thank you for taking what is probably by this point 20 minutes to watch this video.